I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Don't jump off. Standing away. Take turns. Give the person swinging some room. 10 swings. How many times do you have to do this?
Cheeseburger in paradise. Heaven on earth with an onion slice. Not too particular, not too precise. I'm just a cheeseburger in paradise.
Nice zero voices. Thank you for whispering to your neighbor.
My God.
Nice job. Thank you for getting quiet so quickly. Please finish eating and get ready to dump your trays.
Welcome to Central Park, where 380 students are determined to be stars.
We are determined to work together. We are determined to learn together.
We are determined to succeed together. This school is looking cool.
Hey, Lon, I got a problem for you. You have 5 minutes to finish that. I can't do it. I can't do it. The 7, and then put the 7 here, and then you've got 6. Zero board hat. 0 there, 7. Here you go, Mr. Waterman. Good job. Thanks.
Way to be determined.
Other groundhogs, such as, what does Punxsutawney Phil eat?
Groundhogs are vegetarians. For Phil, his favorite food would be dandelions, and he'll eat both the green part as well as the yellow part.
Another question people often ask is, who lives with Phil?
2 groundhogs live at the zoo with Phil, Phyllis and Barney. Groundhogs live in groups, and actually a groundhog's home is a lot like your home. Groundhogs have separate rooms with separate functions. So they actually have a separate bathroom, a separate living area, and separate areas where they sleep.
A very important question many people ask is, do groundhogs make good pets?
It's important to note that groundhogs are wild animals, and in most states you're not allowed to have a groundhog that lives in your home. So as an important reminder, when you see them in the wild, that's where they should stay.
And finally, this question, how did Groundhog Day begin?
It came from a time when people lived in a one-room house all throughout the winter, and they just longed and longed and longed for winter to be over. So they would look for different ways to kind of predict that weather.
Dude, wanna play basketball? No, man, I want to play football. What if we play football first recess and then basketball second recess? Sure, that sounds like a win-win. See you at recess. We were the last two people to finish our pizza. Yeah, but at least I beat you. Does it make you feel good to always beat me? Well, of course it makes me feel good. I don't think we should be friends anymore. I want my friends to be kind to me and look at me as their equal, not someone lower than them. See you around. Okay, wait. Yeah? I didn't know that is how you felt. I'm sorry. You are right, winning isn't always the most important thing. Can we be buds again? Super slam idea. Want to grab some snacks for later? I will let you pick them out.
One sunny day, with a slight chance of meatballs, two teachers from Meadow Park Elementary were chowing down on some chicken patties over lunch. Mrs. Peterson was a friendly sort of person who was pregnant with her 10th child. Crazy hormones were taking over her body, and she found herself sitting next to her archenemy, Mrs. George. Mrs. George was well known throughout Meadow Park Elementary for being a trickster. Mrs. Peterson was talking about all of her crazy dreams that come with being pregnant. Mrs. George's mind started filling with ideas. Suddenly, Mrs. George announced that she was pregnant as well, only she was having triplet trolls. Yes, that's right, triplet trolls. Many weeks went by and Mrs. Peterson's belly started to grow. Mrs. George, not really being pregnant at all, had to come up with a plan to appear pregnant with triplet trolls. She began eating chicken patties every day. Before long, Mrs. Peterson and Mrs. George were just about the same size. One day, while teaching her class how to dissect a unicorn, in room 3, under the bridge, Mrs. George's belly started to grumble. At the same time, in room 2, under the bridge, Mrs. Peterson started to feel labor pains. Within 10 minutes, Mrs. Peterson had a beautiful new baby boy. Still being jealous of her archenemy, Mrs. George ran to the sea house to steal Mrs. Cozort's pet trolls. At the end of the day, Mrs. Peterson took home her adorable son to love and take care of for many years to come. Mrs. George also took home her not-so-adorable triplet trolls, only to discover that they spit boogers and were not potty trained. Mrs. George learned to be proactive and to worry only about herself. Mrs. Cozort celebrated finally getting rid of those pesky triplet trolls given to her for Principal's Day from Mr. Carter.
Monday, so good to me.